I'm building you an insane Mayan-themed jungle temple. This build was weeks in planning and literally days of building to make sure it was just right. I decided to build this amazing structure in the same Minecraft world as my Hanging Gardens of Babylon build that I did a little while ago, because you all told me that you wanted it as a world download. I thought, no, you deserve more, so this whole world is yours in both Bedrock and Java Edition as a free world download, including warps between each of the builds. Both huge builds with all their incredible detail are yours to explore and create your very own Minecraft survival world around. I was really excited to challenge myself with this awesome, incredibly detailed Minecraft jungle oasis, and I'm so pleased with the results, so come with me on the journey of how I made it. I searched for ages to find the perfect spot, and this jungle temple site was ideal, but I needed space, so I had to clear literally hundreds of trees from the jungle to have enough room for the base of this epic pyramid, and that little temple had to go too. Once I had my clearing, I gave myself a base of 93 by 93 blocks just to start with, and created a staggered pyramid, just like the classic Yucatan Mayan structures. One of the defining features of these incredible and mysterious buildings is the impressive staircase that ascends all four sides. I wanted this to be perfect, so I tackled it first. It really gave me a feel and an eye for what the rest of the temple needed to look like. I decided to build this from the ground up, so I changed the stones to a mixed palette and began shaping out the very lowest levels to create a series of decorative archways made primarily of stone bricks, but with other stone variants too, accented with locally sourced jungle wood crafts. I wanted each successive level to complement the last, but not just be a copy of the layer below. I needed to have interest as your eyes are swept up this grand design. And I also thought each successive layer needed less green mossy embellishment as it got further from the ground, so the palette mix was changed as we went upwards. I felt there was a bit of a danger that this building would become very static and regular. It needed some life, so I added campfires to give animation and movement, and I think it makes a real difference to the entire feel of the project. The challenge was that as each layer gets smaller, it got harder to ensure that the detailing across the levels made sense. There'd be fewer repeats, so each one needed to stand alone as an impressive decoration. I thought it was time to increase the amount of slabs and steps, just to give extra dimension. Plus, I brought in wooden additions to break up that stony grey and avoid the entire structure becoming a monochrome block. Once I got to the top, it was time to construct the canopy and bring the staircases around each side. Now, I wasn't sure how the top was going to turn out, and it was important. Getting it wrong, it would spoil the entire temple. I had an idea for the perfect finish, which I'll add a little bit later. Then, all I had to do was bring each face around all four sides. At this point, I had a new idea, and no, it wasn't turning off the shaders accidentally, so I began to bring out one side of the temple steps. I wanted to try and break the four-way symmetry to create a totally new and unique Mayan experience. A bridge into the jungle, spanning the river, was the perfect idea to create an interesting entrance and access from the surrounding area. I kept it open underneath for another idea I'll finish in a minute. The bridge actually took several attempts before I was happy with that gorgeous curved shape, and then I continued to add the age step fill all the way down until it hit the grass on the other side of the river. I wanted to continue that asymmetry, so on one of the other sides I started to burrow through the dirt into the chasm below. It seemed likely to me that the Mayans would want to access that lush cave system underneath their sacred temple, so to continue the grand staircase was the obvious change to that regular structure. But it needed some kind of support, so in keeping with that stone brick theme, I added a mixed palette of legs and crossbeams to take the weight of the descending stairs, before adding steps and slabs to that rocky ceiling to show where the ancient civilization had chipped and carved it out of the ground. The peak of the temple would be seen for miles across the jungle, so it had to have a grand finish. What would be more fitting at the top of a temple dedicated to the ancient gods than a huge flame signalling to the other nearby tribes that this was the supreme location of civilization. This flame, made of red, orange and yellow glass and panes, was built several times to make sure its shape and its life made organic sense from all directions. Using shroom lights and frog lights to add to the glow of the flames, the top of this epic temple is complete. A beacon across the jungle landscape. All that was left was to add some pathways up to the base from the other direction. I didn't want to hide the fantastic detail of this beautiful design with leaves, but it's in the jungle, so some bushes had to be added as vines creeping up the sides where the jungle is trying to reclaim the land. I used just enough to remind you that you're still in the wild and nature always wins in the end. And with that, it was finished. Weeks and days and hours come together to make one single incredible sight for the weary adventurer. Each face so very similar but not quite the same. The canopy hiding that sacrificial flame altar at the top, and the huge crucible of fire, with shaders now back on, glowing and alive at its peak. Every level has a different feel and decoration, so when you download the world, you could create multiple entrances into the pyramid from every angle. However, there is an option of a grand entrance under that bridge waiting for you to come and shape your way. Visible for miles, this temple could truly be a wonder for your ancient world. I deliberately left the surrounding land free of clutter so you could landscape and make it into whatever you want for your Java or Bedrock survival game. I really hope you enjoyed this Mayan journey with me as much as I enjoyed creating it. Expect a lot more of these epic type builds on the channel, so like, subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any of them, and I'll really look forward to seeing you in another video.